We're learning fishtails today. Ooh, fishtails, fishtails. Ah. Okay, yeah, that is a hard trick. Let's learn it. What up, Flow fam? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Luminous, and today we are going over fishtails. Yes, we are going to learn how to do fishtails, and I know I already have a video on it, but that video is like 7 years old. We need a little refresher. I'm blonde in that video. Ugh, no. I'm actually really excited to redo this video. I've been meaning to redo it for a while now. And you know what? Feels like today's a good day to jump into some fishtails. Ooh, fishtails. Fishtailing all over the place. Do not be discouraged if you walk away from this tutorial not being able to do them yet. It took me a year to get fishtails down. A year. But I've also seen people where they just pick it up in a day. I saw that the other day and I about wanted to vomit. There's this kid that's been coming to Spin Jam and he literally figured out fishtails like within the Spin Jam. Like he was doing it. And I'm just like, wow. So you could be one of those people. But this is a trick that you're gonna want to practice a lot and it's gonna take a while to get. It's a really awkward trick to learn, but once you have it down, you got it down. I can do fishtails in my sleep now. Really. I know people always give the advice, learn how to do fishtails with the contact staff and then do it with a Leviwand. That doesn't really help a whole lot because it is a lot different doing a fishtail with a very small object versus a very large object. So I highly suggest learning how to do fishtails with your wand. If you're planning to do fishtails with your wand, learn it with the prop that you're planning to do it with. So we're gonna do it with a small stick. And yeah, it is hard. It's definitely harder with a smaller object. But if you learn it with the smaller object, it is much easier to go from smaller to a bigger object. It's not so easy going from a big object to a small object. I know some people are gonna be like, well, you could use a crutch. I've definitely seen people who use crutches to learn fishtails, and then it takes them a lot longer and their fishtails do not look nearly as clean. So if you want really clean fishtails, we're gonna learn how to do clean fishtails. But of course, before we jump into things, make sure to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, leave me a comment, and don't forget to hit those notification bells. That way you get notified when I post new content. And we also have the wizards of the channel. And the wizards of the channel are Flow Toys, Astro Hoops, Matrix Fire Safety, Fun and Motion Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, Flow DNA, and Flow on Fire. Thank you, friends. And of course, this channel is brought to you by my beautiful, my lovely, my amazing Patreon supporters. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, you can head on over to my Patreon, where you can become a member, or you can head on over to my website, luxluminous.com, where I have lots of fun flow arts related clothing, and every single bit of money raised goes directly into funding this channel, so that way I can keep bringing you more content. So, what is a fishtail? So a fishtail is a figure eight on your wrist, and you're doing a pedal behind and a pedal in front. So when you're learning it, don't do your fishtails in front of you, do it to the side. Fishtails to the side is a proper contact staff fishtail. You'll be able to do it with a contact staff as well. And of course, before we jump into things, the top of my wand is blue, the bottom of my wand is white, so that way you know what's up and what's down. But we don't need our wands yet. We're gonna do some stretches. So, learning this trick, you might damage your wrists. If your wrists start to hurt, stop, okay? With any trick, if you start to hurt, stop. So when one wrist starts to hurt, you do have to stop, but you got another wrist. So one of the biggest tips that I can give you about getting your fishtails down is to learn them on both wrists at the same time. So like I said, when one wrist gets tired, switch to the other one. When that one gets tired, stop. Doing your wrist stretches is super important. I do it every time I go to practice because we gotta get limber. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you a couple of the wrist stretches that I do. All right, so this is usually what I do with my wrist stretches. So first I'll start with my hand down and I will pull on my fingers, so like this. And I'll hold it there for a few seconds. Get it nice and stretched. And then I'll do the same thing on this side with my fingers pointed towards me. And I'll stretch it here. Okay. and then I'll go back under, and now I'll stretch them backwards, and then I will flip it and do it this way. Yeah, stretch it out, stretch it out. All right, so we're gonna do this wrist too. Yes, good stretches. Wiggle the wrists out. Ooh, do 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 do. Hoo 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 hoo. Yeah. Okay, our wrists are now stretched. So let's go ahead and grab our wands. So learning Fishtails with the Leviwand is a little weird because, you know, with the Leviwand, it's a little heavier on one side. If you didn't already know that, which I'm pretty sure you do since you're here learning Fishtails. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with doing some drills. All right, let's go. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your ball handle tucked in your hand. You're gonna place the Leviwand with the center hole right on the back of your wrist. So with this, because we're doing our wrist stretches, you wanna make sure that your hand is as angular as possible, okay? You don't want it like this, because then it's just gonna roll off, okay? We don't want that, it's no good. So with this, what's happening here is you're going to be locking the Leviwand back and forth, okay? So the reason you want your hand so angular like this is because you're gonna be using the side of your hand and your wrist, and then when you're on the other side of your hand and your wrist. All right, let's get a POV shot of that. Let's go. All right, so here you can see pinky side and your wrist here, and then it's gonna go to the other side, and you're gonna be using those points to lock back and forth with a Leviwand. And that's what gives you your momentum, the power. I love the power is those wrist locks. So I want you to drill this a lot, okay? Just back and forth, even before you try to get the swooshy figure eight going, okay? So you wanna get those locks in there first, okay? So we're just locking back and forth. Lock, 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 lock. So it is also very important to make sure that your Leviwand is down by your waist, okay? So if you are up here trying to do a fishtail, it's a lot harder because your hand isn't as crooked up there and it's gonna roll off. If you have it down here, you can use that gravity and it's gonna be a lot easier to do that fishtail down here versus doing it up here because it's just gonna wanna roll, okay? Okay, once you have this down solid, now we can add in the beats. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next drill. And the next drill is adding in the figure eight. And this is how we do that. So what you're gonna do, again, the Leviwand is gonna be on our wrist. And what you're gonna do is you're going to have the Leviwand on your side here in front of you, and you're gonna make a big swoop, boom, okay? And then as soon as it swoops up and it comes down to your side, put your hand on it, okay? We're just stopping it right here, okay? So it's gonna come back up, all right, and then stop. Sweet. All right, now we're gonna go back to the other side. Ooh, boom, okay? Ooh, boom. So you're using that wrist locking technique that we just went over, and you're gonna lock it back and forth, boom. So when we're on this side behind us, you're gonna notice that the bottom of the wand is now pointing out. When we come back to the other side, the top of the wand is now pointing out, okay? So you don't want it to be all crooked and all weird, because that's not going to help you learn this trick. Okay, so again, we're gonna go ahead and start on this side of our body, on our non-dominant side here, and we're gonna shwoo, boom, okay? And you're gonna trap it, woo, trap, okay? And as you get comfortable with that, then you could start having your hand go away, okay? So go, woo, 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 just like that. So when you're at the point where you're, getting the Leviwand going, the motion that you're making is kind of like this butt smack. So another thing you're really gonna wanna watch out for is the Leviwand rolling. So what's gonna happen is the Leviwand's gonna end up rolling up in your string, and it's gonna be very difficult for you to fishtail. So when you're doing your fishtails, really focus on not letting the Leviwand roll. There's honestly no reason for the Leviwand to roll. So you're just going back and forth, and it's literally just balancing on the back of your wrist. Another thing to watch out for is make sure that your wrist is always up like this, and it's not to the side. Fishtailing on the side of your wrist is not fun. It's not easy, and it doesn't look good. So don't do it. Make sure it's on the back of your wrist, not on the floor. And you're gonna notice that you're gonna want to roll it that way. try your hardest not to let it roll that way. All right, so once you have your fishtails down, you're gonna need to learn how to do the entrance into it, because you don't wanna just like, you know, set the Leviwand on your hand to always get into the fishtail. It doesn't look good. It's not beautiful. It's not magical. Let's make it magical. All right, so the way to get into the fishtail is you're going to have the top of the wand pointing down, and you're going to have the wand roll back on your wrist, okay? So if you want to just practice having the Leviwand roll back, boom, this is a great drill. So when you're starting the Leviwand out like this, what you're gonna do is have the Leviwand roll back, and as it rolls back, you're immediately going to like move the Leviwand forward, okay? So boom, 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 boom. All right, so I'll go ahead and slow that footage down for you. But the Leviwand is gonna roll back, and as it rolls back, you're immediately going to bring the Leviwand in front of your body. So down, boom, 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 boom. So once you're starting to kind of get it down, you wanna also make sure that you're practicing with the bottom end out as well. Because like I said, it can feel a little different. It's not like, you know, significantly harder one way or the other. It's not. But you definitely want to make sure that you're getting those down, because when you're getting into the different like fun transition-y things, you want to make sure that it feels right to you. And of course, you want to make sure that you're training the fishtails on this side as well. Alrighty fam, well I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on fishtails. And again, it is a difficult trick, but once you got it down, you tag me in that video. I want to see you get these fishtails down. That's so satisfying. And if you want to deep dive into more fun fishtail tricks, you can go ahead and click this link right here. If you're new or lurking, welcome to the Wand Life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions at all, always leave me a comment down below and I will help you out. See you all on the wand side.